What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we have a brand new boss event essentially called Titan Reaver on the VN test server. So this is not going to be available to you just yet unless you play on the test servers, but this is a really cool one that lasts a full week. The unique thing about this is that you're facing two Dream Realm bosses back to back, so you fight them consecutively without reusing heroes here, which is really cool. Your score is based on the total damage you deal, and the rewards are pretty sweet as well. Now, right out of the gate, one thing you will notice, just like in Dream Realm, you do have a formations button where you can share team compositions with enemies. So you can see how like this team can do only less than 200 and then over 400, and it's still doing more damage than this team that's splitting the damage a little bit more evenly. So really cool how this works. Really awesome that there is a formation button for those of you guys who aren't as, into it, really researching what you got. And of course, these bosses are what we are used to. We're facing the Skyclops and we're facing the Crystal Beetle. Now, one really cool thing about this is you can request and get requested for proxy battles. So this is not where you're actually going to be sending a hero to a teammate like you guys were used to in the story mode. This is essentially letting another person jump on your account, essentially use your heroes, change your formation, and try to get a better score for you. And you guys can see here, there's a ton of rewards. One thing that is giving you a ton of the Crimson Essence, you're going to be getting a ton of diamonds, and at the very top you are getting Twilight Essence. I kind of wish this was Temporal Essence, but hey, I guess beggars can't be choosers. So overall you're getting what, 5,000, 2,000, 3,000 diamonds off this, which is pretty dang good. And of course you can see your own records up the top. Now sadly on my account we can't do some crazy stuff, but what we can still show you guys is some of the top formations here. And again, these teams are going to be important because you cannot reuse heroes. You need to have unique teams on each one of these, and you see overall these teams are pretty standard, and they're actually surprisingly teams that are more of the older style. You're not technically using Tailines and everything. We will have to wait and see what the top players are, because remember, these are only the top scores of those who wish to share it. And then of course there is going to be a leaderboard for all this to see what is going on. But again, thankfully the rewards are just based on the total amount of damage you've done. 550 million as it is at the peak, and you can see the top players are already up into the 600 million, so it's not absolutely horrible. Now sadly we can't really do much on our account because we are of course a free-to-play account that we stopped way back when. We don't even have like all the Celestial and Hypogen. There is one nice feature though, is you'll notice here everybody gets leveled up to at the least mythic. So your heroes are pretty stagnant. You do have of course your max artifacts. However, you take a look at your heroes, they're going to be capped out at the same level. So it doesn't matter if you're at 1200 level or 700 level within this season right now, they do even the playing field with the overall level, which I think is really good. You can see it right here in Titan Reaver. Seasonal levels are adjusted accordingly to the baseline level. Hero levels exceeding 300 are set to 300. Unlocked skills remain unaffected, and hero equipment levels are adjusted to match that hero's corresponding level. So I can show you guys right here what these battles are essentially looking like here. We'll take a look at the best team right now, which is this Nana team. Let's jump in, show you guys what this actually looks like. It's going to be a lot like Dream Realm, so you might need to go back to some of your knowledge of past seasons with Dream Realm and use some team compositions that are maybe not the best right now because you need to use a hero in a different mode. Of course, Tailene right here, probably going to be the go-to in Skyclops. If you have Tailene, you are most definitely going to want to use her. If you don't, you might need to use some older type of teams that used to use it. Reiner on this squad can be very good as well. So if you don't have like a Marilee or something like that, we are very heavily invested into damage, as you guys see as well. This is very important on this one, I feel like, because you don't need a lot of support. In the past, you've needed heroes like Coco with Mythic Plus to give her damage reduction and then the shielding. This one doesn't seem too bad. The damage doesn't seem like it's crazy coming in. And again, everybody is the same level. Everybody's level 300. So it's not like there's going to be whales that can out power level this and just have more stats to survive. So keep that in mind. This is still a decent hit. It's not the best of the best team, but if you can somehow cherry pick from the formations and find the best teams possible for you on your account and then adjust your second team, that's when it's really going to be very, very good. And you can see right here, Merrily actually pumping out some of the best damage. Now you can see in the second boss battle here, we are going up against the Titan Reaver. This one is going to be, again, a lot of damage incoming here. Surprisingly using Alsa, and I always loved using Alsa in these teams, especially ones like this. We're using the arcane spell, so the more magic damage we're dealing, the more damage we're dealing to the boss. And yeah, this one I feel like we could probably find a better team with. As you guys know, you want to have a shield up on your heroes a lot of times on this one to kind of help prevent that little stun effect right there. Granted, you see heroes like Lily May, she's kind of tucked off to the side, so she doesn't really care about that. This one's going to be unique to see exactly what teams become the best of the best, because just overall this is looking really, really awesome. This has a really cool version of Dream Realm to it, which, you know, I'm not that adverse to them adding duo bosses down the road or something like that, or making this Titan Reaver a permanent functionality, because these teams are really awesome. And you basically take your knowledge of like all the Dream Realm bosses and you have to combine them together and be like, well, Lily May's the best in this team, but she's also the best in this team. Which team can have a substitute for Lily May that can end up netting us the best overall damage? So this one's going to have a ton of testing on it, which I think is probably one of the best things with it. And I believe part of this too is unlimited attempts. I don't think they limit you every day to what you can or cannot do. I'll have to take a look real quick. I actually haven't seen anything that looked like there were attempt numbers or anything, but you can see here the damage just going up through the roof, which is amazing. And yeah, you can take a look at both these lineups here. The damage, Lily May absolutely crushing it. Chances are you're going to want Lily May on this one here. So when you do go into battle, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any number of attempts or anything, at least. Have to see how that plays out. And again, just finding the right team composition is going to be the best way, because you see here, this was the best team here, which is essentially the same squad they were running elsewhere. And these teams are almost identical. You see right here, this one did run the Coco. Don't necessarily know if that was necessary. It did end up doing more damage, but again, you can see this right here was just a regular mythic version that you get for free, whereas this one was a heavily invested plus 25 Tailene with tons and tons of power. So use the leaderboard to an extent. Don't go by like what's buyable. You can kind of see like, oh, this was like the best damaging team, I'm going to use this one. And then, oh yeah, that damage is a little off, we'll use that one instead. So this has a lot of potential to be an amazing game mode in the future and down the road. I can't wait, because I love the bossing in AFK Journey. It's the best part about the game. So if we get more game modes like this, I'm going to be happy. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know what type of teams you're going to run for these bosses. Once they do come out, we'll get you guys like the best team compositions once it goes live on global, and we'll get you the best team compositions so you get the best score. See you guys next time.